Alright guys, so here we are. This is the Affliction Warlock. Not a lot's changed, but in the process, yeah, basically the same gameplay, guys. What you're looking at is maintaining your dots, and then Drain Life is your new Malefic's Grasp, Drain Soul. It's had so many different iterations on this channeled ability that's gone back and forth, but Drain Life is basically your new filler spell. You've got a couple different ways you can play this. You can play it to where you're more heavily playing with that filler spell if that's something you like doing. Or you can go straight into dot destruction and just play the multi-dot game as best as possible. That again, guys, that it's a fun gameplay if you got 2 to 3 targets and you're actually able to keep this stuff up. It's really enjoyable. Single target, not so much. So what's the changes? You're still working with soul shards and affliction. What's really changed, guys, is there's no major buffs to really keep up, unless you spec into them. Now you have unstable affliction, you still have corruption, and you still have agony, and they've all kind of changed a bit. I do have a talent that just makes corruption stay up there because, well, it's basic, it's easy, it gives me more time on filler stuff, and I don't have to... whatever. I mean, I just basically chose a bunch of talents. I'm not going to lie to you on that one. But the way this is playing out, you have... on basic openers, guys, what you're looking at doing is... I did take Grimoire Supremacy. Or, I'm sorry, not Supremacy, but of Service. To where you get the additional pet that comes out. Your pet of choice on Affliction is going to be your Fellstalker, your Fell Puppy, whatever you want to call this thing. It is that's going to be your pet of choice, and the reason why is because its main attack ability does more damage on those that are corrupted with your dots. So that in turn turns into more damage. That's why it took Grimoire of Service. Just more damage. Pull out another Fell Puppy, and boom, there you go. You've got it going. So your opener, basically, you've got Doomguard, 3-minute cooldown, and you've got Service. Pop it up, get it going, and it does some pretty good damage. As you can see, there's another little target off to the left there, and that is a talent also, and it's basically a mirror image of, or a copy of the boss kind of deal. And what you do is you can keep your dots on it and the target, and the mirror clone image will do 50% of all damage done to it to the target. Really nice deal. And the reason why I took that was because you gain your soul shards through your agony ticks now. The more agonies that you've got going, the better chance of getting additional proc for soul shards. Simple thought on the gameplay, guys. The other thing too is very RNG based, but your artifact weapon, it's called Reap Souls is the ability, and basically you'll see I've got a counter up in the top right corner, and it has a 60-second window on it. And every now and then it'll just randomly seem to proc one up. I didn't see anything special going on with it. Yes, they have revised this since the last time that I kind of spoke about this thing. And basically when it gets up, it'll stack up to 12 times, and you can end up using this, and it'll it'll increase your passive abilities on your weapon. That's probably going to be pretty nice later on end game, but right now, not having any artifact power doesn't do this thing any justice at all, so you don't see me use it very often. But guys, it's not playing too much differently. You're going to keep up corruption, you're going to keep up agony, and then unstable affliction now is like your burst cooldown. If you're wanting to maintain damage, just keep it, keep using it as long as you don't cap out shards. And if you need burst damage, you can actually hit this thing multiple times and just stack the damage up and up and up on this. It doesn't reset the timer, but what it's going to do is just add the additional damage to this thing. So if you had any damage, basically if you cast it and you cast it again, any of the additional unstable affliction damage that was left over is going to be added into the new unstable affliction. So you can burst ramp the shit out of this thing. So in a bloodlust phase or anything like that, I did take the soul harvest so I could get the 5 additional souls, so whenever I do have a bloodlust period or something like that, or an opener, I can basically dump out what I've got pulled up and then end up casting soul harvest, bring them all back, and just dump even more unstable afflictions out. And by the time I would get done with that little opener rotation, I would be back into casting agony. Really decent gameplay, guys. Not a lot's changed, really. Not a lot's changed. Your AoE is a little bit better because whenever you cast Seed of Corruption now, whenever it blows up, hey, the Corruption tick actually adds back into it. You don't have to use a Soul Shard on this. You can increase your AoE and have it to where every time you use Seed of Corruption in a talent, it will take a Soul Shard if there's one available, and it'll actually put Seed of Corruption on everything. I'm sorry, Seed of Corruption will go to everything in range of the target that you're throwing it on originally. Really, guys, there's not a whole lot that's changed on this thing. If you've played an Affliction Lock on live, this is going to be really simple to get back into. There's not a lot going on. It's the same basic process of dot management. No snapping. You'll see that Agony stacks up to 20, and that's due to a talent. And that's just going to give you more dot ramping. And they do have a way that, again, like I said, you can spec in there a couple different ways on what you want to end up doing. You can spec it to where, okay, I want to end up just messing with dots, and you can basically just mess with dots and never once end up having to worry about casting a filler spell. Real simple. Or you can end up setting it up to where your filler spells do more damage and more healing, a little bit more survival. So, again, it's all about how you want to do the talents. The artifact, right now, using it seems a little bit weak. It increases your passives on the Soul Harvester, and it doesn't seem to do enough right now. Being in a raid environment or in something to where the weapon's scaled up, like maybe in the level 110 PvP stuff where they cap it out, then it'll probably be an insane amount of burst. But again, this thing it gains a stack every time you kill something or you get a killing blow on something, and it also ends up gaining a stack every time or just randomly, and it's very RNG based. I didn't care for it that much. I liked the other gameplay to where you had like the little spirit effigy that was going out there and you could kill it. A lot of people complain like, oh, what's that supposed to do? You know, you gotta time that differently and blah blah blah. And this new one, it's a little bit more control, but at the same time it's still RNG based out the ass, guys. I don't know what to really end up saying, but it's playing the same. If you enjoy Affliction Warlock on live, you'll enjoy it now. It's a good class, it's playing well, it's strong, and I really can't say much is different, guys. I really can't. You can end up still taking this thing and doing some pretty insane numbers on it. So it's all a matter of play style. And I mean, if you want to play Affliction Warlock and do more channeling, you can do that. If you want to do more dotting, you're more than likely, the way this is set up, you're going to be the kings of 2 to 3 mobs again. So any council fight that comes up, you're going to be doing an insane amount of damage, anything like that, to where they're spread. And yeah, guys, it's just absolutely bonkers on what kind of damage this can do whenever you've got your corruptions ramped up. My little mirror deal here is doing some pretty insane damage. Not the best Affliction Warlock. I enjoy current WoD Demonology more than anything, just because it's an insane amount of play. And I'm also liking Legion Demonology, so my Warlock will more than likely stay Demonology. Again, guys, that it doesn't seem to have the survivability that the other 2 specs have also. The damage is good, but at the same time, the others actually have some really good survivability. Drain Life does a good amount of healing, but it's not as good as Destruction right now. It just came out. It's got a huge shield that it ends up using, or that it ends up building, and it feels like you don't take any damage at all. But again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and throw it a like and a subscribe. It's just a real basic look over on the Affliction right now.